What's going on? Welcome to the Gamer Buff, Gamer News, Gamer Action. I'm Jefferson Carps with the Gamer Buff, Dov Larson. There he is, everybody. Thank you for being here. Listen, big show, Ubisoft, Knights of the Old Republic, and a new indie game alert all coming up. But first, where else could we start? We have to start here. Death Stranding 2. South by Southwest, they fucking blew us away. Pre-orders start this week. Talk to me. Talk to me.
All right. Well, the big news, let's not bury the lead. June 26th is the release date. So we're going to see it this summer. I am so excited. I thought we were going to have to wait till the end of the year. But, hey, maybe they don't want to compete with GTA 6. I don't know. But I don't care. It's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be its own thing. I don't think it should even want to compete. But it's going to be great. We found out a lot of like game material, no actual deep game footage. The trailer's 10 minutes long, but it's a lot of cinematics. Shows a little bit more game, but we're finding out more characters. Troy Baker's going to be in it. We knew that, but he's going to be crazier than ever. Man, there's just so much going on that like this trailer got me more pumped. Usually I don't like to watch trailers very much because it ruins a lot, but Death Stranding usually have so much cinematics. The first one had like over an hour and a half of just pure cinematics throughout the whole thing. So taking 10 minutes worth of that and just kind of like mixing it in a hodgepodge, or well, a very good way, but you don't know what's going on really, so don't worry about that. You'll learn a lot about the gameplay, but I'm super excited.
So we have this 10-minute trailer. We're going to get into we have the release date. We're going to get into pricing and different packages, but near the end of this trailer, Snake.
Oh yes,
maybe. I don't know. Maybe
that got me so excited. Yeah, there was a new character that they started featuring in the new trailer, and the whole time, like they're covering his backstory and kind of what he might bring to the table. And then at the very end, you see this guy put on a headband and he looks almost identical to Solid Snake.
He does. He dons the bandana and it's like, holy shit.
Right. Like it was like, oh my God. And like, we don't know exactly what he's going to be, protagonist, antagonist, whatever. But like, it looks badass. And like with the rest of the story just being a total mind F, I can't wait, man. Like that was such a cool twist. Because, we want some more Metal Gear anyway. He doesn't own the IP, but it's a cool nod. I love it, man. Cool Easter egg.
Yeah. Do you have a boner right now?
You didn't have to say it.
Dude,
man.
Do you have a boner right now?
Maybe.
That's fine. That's understandable because Death Stranding 2 is coming up. Death Stranding is one of your favorite all-time games. And you've been so looking forward to this. At Death Stranding 2, pre-orders start this week. It's depending when you're watching the show, I'll just say it. It's March 17th is when pre-orders start. Tell me about the packages, not your package, please. Your raging,
you already covered that.
Veiny erection. We've covered that. Tell me what's going on. What's the pricing? What do you have?
Yeah, we're talking over $200 for the deluxe edition in US dollars.
That's just the deluxe edition, which you're considering.
It's nuts. I know.
What is this? What are we getting with this?
You're getting a couple figurines, a Magellan Man statue. I think it's like
15 inches of
huge, man. Another figurine from the new game, like a character we don't know yet, I believe. So like it's pretty cool. Also getting, and this is kind of like where I'm nerding out. Everyone else is like, who cares? A signed letter from Hideo Kojima. And I mean, I would frame that crap and put it on my wall in a fucking heartbeat. I cannot wait. I really am thinking about getting it. I don't normally do any kind of deluxe editions, but the memorabilia here is pretty dope, and you get 2 days early access, so that might be worth it.
That's a big one.
And they bring it. Like when they have a release date, it's not going to come out in a horrible state. At least that's what I believe. I love Death Stranding. It was a great game. Death Stranding 2 is going to be amazing.
It's going to be Such a great game. It looks phenomenal. This is like the excitement is here. And yeah, okay, you got to wait just over 3 months, but that early access is, it's part of the deluxe package. That's 48 hours of playing this game, exploring this game, and dominating this game before, the masses even get a look at it. That's huge, but the deluxe edition, that's not the only way to get there, correct?
Right. Yeah, they have a couple different tiers, and I mean, even just like the standard upgrade for just the digital deluxe version.
I like the digital.
I know, we should go with it.
Dude.
The digital version is just you get the same kind of like upgrades with your character, but you also get the same early access, the 48 hours. So I mean, like, if you're just a big fan and you just want to play it 2 days early, you can do it. But I should say that, like, one of the big features in Death Stranding that was cool is this kind of like shared asymmetrical multiplayer. So like things you build in your game sometimes randomly appear in other people's games. So if you play it early, you might not see too much of that. And, like, it might be worth it to wait a little while to get more of that to like help you get through the game. But if you like the challenge, it might be worth it to do it really early. That'd be the way to go.
This is huge. Death Stranding 2 just put on a fucking show at South by Southwest. They gave the gamer buff here, Dove Larson, a raging veiny erection, the likes of which he hasn't seen in 25 years. No offense to Mrs. Dove. Pre-orders on Death Stranding 2, March 17th. Make sure you get that early access. Dove is going to be there. And, I'm guessing over 1 million others are going to be there. That's how big this thing's going to be. June 26th, it's out officially. Pre-orders this week. Death Stranding 2. All right, Dove. Let's move on. New indie game alert. It's called Wild Blue. And it is something of a Star Fox successor.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, one of the developers from the original Star Fox is working on a spiritual successor. Now, like, they're not using any of the same names or anything like that. This is spiritual successor doing their own twist on it, but it's looking like a retro flight rail shooter type game. And I just love the aesthetics from the snapshots that they've shown. We'll probably throw a couple up here for you. It just looks cool, man. Like, it's what we want. And if you've ever gone back and tried to play some of the Star Foxes, which they haven't had a new one in almost 10 years, the controls weren't great in the beginning. Like they're a little clunky, to say it nicely. And I think an upgrade with new hardware that we got, better frame rates, better processing power, and better, overall controls, I think something like this could really be fun and amazing. And I love that this is coming out, because about time, man. I would love a new Star Fox, or at least some kind of successor to
Well,
it.
yeah, because so Nintendo still controls the IP for Star Fox.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so this dude, he created Star Fox. He went on, he started his own independent development company, and now he's coming out with Wild Blue. He's come out with some other stuff, but this game is like classic arcade flying and shooting, and it the little bit that we've seen looks really cool. The characters look really cool, and like you said, with some updated controls. I mean, Star Fox is a bitch, man.
It's so hard to
I love
play
Star
nowadays.
Fox, but what the fuck, dude?
Oh,
Why
God.
the game is so difficult?
It's
Get
hard.
that fucking frog's always like, help me, and then the other guy's always like, what the fuck you
Dick,
doing?
Yeah.
It's like
Falcon's an asshole.
Falcon.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want an updated version, and this might be the closest we're getting. 2016 was the last Star Fox game, and that was Wii U, so that doesn't even fucking count. Never went to the Switch. Never.
Right. There are ways to make a spiritual successor amazing and just make people forget about the original almost. And that's what I think that he could do here if he does it right. Make it an adult game, man. Make it for the right crowd. Make it for us. Make it updated graphics. Make it retro still, but, smooth graphics is what I meant. Good frame rate, fun controls, and make it for your audience.
It's Wild Blue. It's the indie game alert here this week. Star Fox spiritual successor And is that a 2025 release?
They haven't had any release dates, but yeah,
Okay.
man.
It's in the
I
works.
hope it's this year.
Something to look
I
forward
need to play
to.
it.
Wild Blue, it's in the works. Dove, let's hit the rumor mill. All right. So, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. This is a show favorite.
One of my all times.
Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic coming to Disney Plus. What? A television series? Dove, true or false? Is this happening? And is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I mean, it's a rumor. I hope it's true. Disney has been looking for, they've been searching for something Star Wars to hook people, and I think this could be great, man. Some people online already are snapping at it, thinking it's a horrible idea. They're not going to honor the original game. The game's over 20 years old, man. There has been no life breathed into this thing in a long time. Even the remake has taken almost 5 years now to get going, and we don't even have a release date.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it. I think they should include some of the original writers. I know one of the original writers had a whole trilogy of Darth Bane books, which is one of the main characters from the first game, and I love them. So dude, just get some of the original writers on there, and I think they could really make a good show here. I think it could be cool.
Yeah, Star Wars, KOTOR, Disney Plus, TV series. There's a lot of angry
So
people
angry.
bitching on Reddit and that it's 23 years old, this game. Okay? I don't know. Shut up. Like, it's fine. Put out a show. Like, what are you complaining about? We're not gonna ruin the game.
No,
The game is done.
the game's been
There
out
is
there.
no game. Okay? So if they're gonna put out a TV series, great. Have fun, make it a good show, and maybe a bunch of people will watch. Or it'll be terrible and they won't watch. You know what won't happen though? Ruining Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, a 2003, game. It's not gonna happen. And I don't know what we're complaining about. This is good. Getting these games and these stories out there into other projects, this is good.
Right.
This is not something to complain about.
Yeah, man, just pass these stories on to the next generation and, get some excitement, because hopefully that game's going to come out in the next decade or so. And, maybe those kids who have been watching the show will be able to play that.
Well, exactly. I mean, I'm sorry, but what new game, what 12-year-olds play in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic?
Exactly. Yes.
So if they put out a TV series and they actually get the remake made, then you got the next generation playing this thing, and then it becomes a huge success. And speaking of that, sticking with the rumor mill, they claim, Saber, that they're still working on this game. It's still in production.
Yeah, that's
the remake.
Big latest news on the game. Yes.
There's nothing you can watch. There's precious little proof of this, but they're still working on the game, along with half a dozen other games that may never see your console. I don't know.
Yeah, they're working on some games, and they just released Warhammer, or Space Marine. This game blew people away, so we got to give them a chance. They are working on John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, I believe. That's going to release this year.
Yeah, so they say.
That's the hope. Jurassic Park Survival.
Yeah. This year.
They
say.
And then they're working on a couple long term, which means they have no goddamn idea. So Turok is one that I'm very excited for.
I hope so.
That's one that I'm really excited for. But I just want KOTOR out there. I want Knights of the Old Republic to get made.
Okay,
and
but
they're slacking.
Well,
friend.
they have all these IPs, and they keep telling you this is what we're working on.
IP
This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. But they're just collecting IPs because I need to see these games. And this is,
exactly.
The first thought of this was what, 2021, the remake of KOTOR. I mean, now you're teasing me with Turok. I need some new Turok in my life. I need the goddamn Dinosaur Hunter, and I need it now. And I don't know if I'm ever going to see that. And like, what
they
what
don't
is-
have dates. I mean, like, they tell us that they're working on them, and that's the big news, is that they're still
Yeah.
working on a game.
What's the point of them telling us that they're working on these?
I don't know, to make investors not run. That's
I-
all
I
I,
mean,
can
I-
think of, man. Like, there's no other reason than maybe, or to let nerds like myself to stop emailing them and asking them about updates on the.
That's a point.
probably what it is.
That's
They're
probably
sick
it.
of me.
In fact, take out the probably. That's it. Stop bothering Saber
They took
and
out
let them
a
work on
whole
their
news
game.
feed to let me know to shut the hell up. And leave it
Honestly,
alone.
because
Yeah.
I let them
Makes sense
work
now.
because I want this remake and I really want Turok. I know we're talking Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic here, but man, Turok, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. And last week we covered
About time.
Acclaim, and Acclaim Entertainment they were the original Turok.
yeah.
They put out, half a dozen or more Turok games, and I loved every goddamn one of them. I'd love to see this again. These IPs, it's exciting, but it's also concerning because the next generation, they don't know any of this.
No,
And do they care?
exactly.
Like, I'm over here semi-erect over Turok potentially being made and coming out in 2026, 2027. I don't know. But these kids, they don't care.
Right,
Do they
and
care?
and the
'Cause
fan
this could
base
fail miserably.
is shrinking. Our
Right.
age group is putting down the controller more and more, sad as it is, but you get busier as you get older. Nerds
goddamn
like me
kids.
never stop, but it only takes time for your fan base who knew about Turok is going to keep wanting a new game. Knights of the Old Republic, same thing. You have to strike while the iron's hot, and I'm afraid the iron is getting rather cold, my friend.
If you wait
mean,
another
mine's-
if you wait another 5 to 10 years for this Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake and for a new Turok game, if you delay any of the shit you're working on, Jurassic Park, any of this, it's trouble. It's trouble because
Right.
you're risking losing. Your audience is going to be 60. Your consumers are going to be 60 years old. They're going to start having grandchildren.
And those grandchildren are the ones who you want to buy games. They're not going to know anything about this. So, they got to keep moving, or they have to start catering or, appealing to the younger crowd. So,
Which
what are they going to do?
Which brings us back to a Disney Plus television series, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic on Disney Plus. The kids are into it. They love it. The next generation. Holy shit, that's a game that's coming out. That's that show I watched. Playing that. Grandkids are occupied. You can go back to drinking your, drink.
White Russian? I don't know what old people drink.
Your Tom Collins or whatever.
That
What
sounds
do
right.
old people drink? Tom Collins?
Tom Collins? White Russians?
White Russian's delicious, but do old people drink that? No, they mix up their Tom Collins, right?
That's what I've known. Yeah. I was just trying to think of fancy drinks.
Old fashioned.
I don't think.
All right, listen, that's the rumor mill.
Producers
Star Wars.
moving us along
Yeah,
here.
the
old hook
our
here.
fill-in producer is wow, and he's not wrong. That's the rumor mill. Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, Disney Plus, the remake, all of that. We go from the rumor mill to the shit mill. Ubisoft. Barring what would be a totally unsurprising last-minute delay, this is launch week for Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yay. Hoorah. I've lost all interest.
What a
They've
fucking
moved the date
disaster,
3
dude.
times. I don't care anymore.
March 20th is the date. AC Shadows. And while that should be the big story here, it's not, because this company is a total disaster. All the news surrounding Ubisoft this week, launch week, involves an investment group planning a protest outside Ubisoft headquarters and threatening to sue. Dove, what the hell?
Yeah, well, these people are pretty ticked off that Ubisoft's not really being forthright with all the information about what they're doing with their IPs, how they might be acquired by other companies, and forthright to their stockholders, their shareholders. So that certain aspects of that might be literally illegal. But I'm no lawyer. I don't know any of this crap. I'm just saying I don't know if not telling them that you're looking to sell to someone else is something you got to share or disclose, but
And we don't know if it's true. Because my first take on this is like one dude who made a bad investment who's now just like bitching and moaning. And,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes, exactly.
so it could be just that. I mean, nobody's showing up to this protest. Shut up. It's not happening. Nobody's showing up. Let's see what AC Shadows does. But the fact that like this is the news, everyone in the news, in the gaming industry, into gaming news, us included, can't wait to get the next bit of dirt on Ubisoft and pile on what has happened over the last year or since the release of Outlaws. What has happened with this company is sickening. It is a downward spiral of poop, just poop flying everywhere. It makes me sick. They're going out of business. They're going to have to sell all of their IPs, and it's a total disaster. The other piece of news on Ubisoft this week is that they are looking for investors because they're looking to start a new entity.
Yeah, that's what they need.
They can't even run their current entity.
Yeah, let's start a new one because we're doing so well going bankrupt here.
And of course, who are they reaching out to invest? Tencent.
Immediately.
Wow, big surprise. That's not shady at all.
No, it's like I honestly feel like they're just building a company to like move their IPs there, so if they get bankrupt, they can still access them for the future. But
can I just
shady as hell, man?
Let's just skip everything that has to happen over the next few months and just put the Guillermo family in prison, please. Because like, this is ridiculous.
It sounds rotten to the core.
It's shady as hell.
I mean,
this is the worst run company in all of the world right now.
I love how they tried to get investors into their company. They're like, you can buy a majority share of our company, but we still retain all the rights to make all the decisions. Like, why the hell would you give over 50% of the foundation to not have any say in what the hell happened? That is absolutely stupid.
It's ridiculous. It's that no one would ever do that, especially with this bozo family.
They've run the company into the ground,
maybe
got some insight,
but all while having a top 11 all-time selling franchise or top 10, depending on the rankings, Assassin's Creed. They've still found a way to be awful, and they are awful. They've delayed this game 3 times, and finally we are here, I think, launch week for Assassin's Creed Shadows. And we'll be talking about this next week, though.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have good news. I don't know. I've lost all interest, honestly. I mean,
you're not even going to play it.
I honestly, I'm over the hype train. Clearly, this channel, we're leaning more indie anyway, so I'm going to focus on games that people actually want to hear about. And to be honest, I'm not too thrilled about this. Avowed, I was very excited for years.
Yeah.
There's certain games I'm just going to cover regardless because I'm going to play them. But Assassin's Creed Shadows, honestly, with their track record the last year with Skull and Bones and Star Wars Outcast, like I'm not looking forward to this. You've delayed it 3 times. They've had to retool multiple times. I don't trust it, man. I'll wait for a sale or something. I'm not gonna waste my money.
Well, I mean, it's poop and a new entity. Shut up. Like that. This whole thing's gonna go to shit, and they're gonna be sitting over there with like Tencent. Hugely invested in their new entity, and they're going to be totally untouched, and then they're going to like come out with some new game or say they're going to, and then delay it and delay it and delay it. It's going to be a total disaster. They're going to take Assassin's Creed with them. It's a joke. It should be illegal. And you know what? I'm going to plot protest.
Yeah.
Outside of Ubisoft headquarters.
Okay.
And
Sounds
let's
like a
do
plan.
it. I'm talking
I'll be
May.
there.
Let's do it in May.
All right.
And
I'll bring
you
the
know,
coffee.
because it's what a joke. I mean, what a joke.
It's sad, man. I used to love the Assassin's Creed games.
You did.
And
you
you know,
really
the
did.
last couple were okay, but they just keep going down in quality. So
Well, we can expect Assassin's Creed Shadow to be a total disaster. We will find out so very soon. So very soon. It's out this week. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ubisoft's last ditch desperate effort. All right, Dov. Monday. It's the official Indie Spotlight, the gamer review from the Gamer Buff Everhood 2.
yeah.
What can we look forward to here?
Yeah, finally getting my review out there, man. I really love this game. Psychedelic RPG. Don't know what you're gonna get half the time or where you're going, but it all leads to a great story and a lot of fun combat gameplay. You've probably seen it before. You're seeing it right now on the screen, but looks like Guitar Hero, plays a little bit like it, but kind of like an anti-Guitar Hero. And it's just a lot of fun, man. A lot of strategy involved and gets increasingly more difficult, you know, just what you want out of a good combat system. And this is interesting. The game's got a lot of weird stuff going on, man. Weird story, weird direction, great thread, very adaptive to how you play. I love it, man. It's fun. So check out my review on Monday.
Yeah, Monday, the official review, the Indie Spotlight from Dove Everhood 2 at the Indie Spotlights. Two Hats to the Beard, Everhood 2. It's out Monday, early, and for the rest of the time, he's the Gamer Buff, Dove Larson. Like, share, subscribe for more content. Dove's Digital Deep Dive, Indie Spotlight, Gamer Buff podcast at Two Hats and a Beard. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Appreciate you. We do. We really, really do. We'll do it again in a week. Hey, fellas. Game on.
Game on. 5, 4, 3. There's no feeling there. Like I need.
Wow. I was gonna go, but Dove is not having it.
Just like it was so monotone.
All
Just
right,
a little.
It was almost annoyed and angry.